In 1904, far in the frozen lands of Manchuria and the cold waters of the Pacific, two great empires collided in a war the world never expected. Russia, a vast European power, and Japan, a rising nation determined to prove its strength. It began with a sudden strike at Port Arthur, a night attack that shattered the silence and shocked the Russian Navy. Explosions lit the harbor, and in that moment, a new kind of warfare arrived in Asia. Japanese troops landed on distant shores, marching through snow-covered fields and windswept plains. They moved with speed, discipline, and fierce determination. Across the hills, Russian forces dug into trenches, their green uniforms blending into the rugged winter landscape. Battles erupted across Manchuria, artillery booming through the fog, infantry charging across open ground, and cavalry thundering down frozen slopes. The clash at Liaoyang tested both armies, as dust and smoke rolled over the vast battlefield. Night after night, Japanese artillery pounded Russian positions. Winter storms turned the ground to ice and mud, but still the armies fought on, driven by pride, honor, and the hope of victory. At Port Arthur, the siege grew relentless. Japanese soldiers stormed Hill 203 again and again, scaling the heights under heavy fire. When the hill finally fell, the view revealed every Russian ship in the harbor below, and the fate of Port Arthur was sealed. Far out at sea, another storm prepared to rise. In 1905, the Russian Baltic Fleet sailed halfway around the world, only to meet the Japanese Navy at the Battle of Tsushima. Cannons roared across the waves, ships burned in the open ocean, and in a few decisive hours, Japan destroyed almost the entire Russian fleet. When the war ended, the world stood in awe. For the first time in modern history, an Asian nation had defeated a European empire. Japan emerged as a new global power, and the balance of the world had changed forever. The Russo-Japanese War was a test of courage, discipline, and the unforgiving weight of destiny, a war that reshaped nations and echoed far into the century that followed.